Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the LCN number 4040 XP, specifically the 18TJ drop plate. So, drop plates are used to help in the installation of a door closer into an application where you simply don't have enough real estate on the header or on the door, in both. In most instances, thinking aluminum storefront was what I'm thinking. The 4040 XP is the replacement for the 4040. The drop plates and the arms are all backwards compatible. This client has a 4040 series closer and ordered the 4040 18TJ. Well, that's not available. The what is available, of course, is the 4040 XP, and again, completely backwards compatible. As I'm stabbing around here looking for the in the wrong catalog, chap. Pulling up what this is while that document loads. That's what the drop plate looks like. Okay. As you look at this, you probably are going to say to yourself, okay, I get what's going on here. You've got your mounting holes, whichever ones you're going to end up using, for the closer body. And then you've got these holes here, and you'll say to yourself, well, it's probably where I'm going to install the plate down to, you know, what I'm attaching it to is the bottom line. So where you're going to use, and there's a tip-off naturally in the part number, the TJ. You're going to use this in a top jamb mount. Now, a 4040 series closer is going to require a certain amount of top rail to get the door installed, to get the door closer installed. And what I mean by that is you're doing a top jamb mount. So a top jamb mount is where the door closer body is placed on the header of the frame, and the arm is perpendicular to the face of the door, the top rail of the door, and attached on that top rail. When you have a condition where the height of the header is less than 3.5, you're going to use the 18TJ. Okay? Where you have less than 3.5 inch, which in fact is every frame, with the exception, I would think, of frames with 4-inch heads, like you'd have in modular, like meaning what you would have in masonry construction, where you are being modular with the courses of block. You would find that 88-inch overall height would be even with a grout line. That would be a 7-foot door and a 4-inch head. So in that scenario, you'd be okay. You would sure want to reinforce the header appropriately and probably even leave yourself a cavity behind there so as to be able to drill and insert the screws into. And then, of course, the next question is what's the minimum dimension for that header? And that is 1 3/4 inches. So you have to have at least 1 3/4 inches. And a typical hollow metal frame will certainly give you that minimum dimension where it's 2 inch. But probably you're going to see this in aluminum storefront more. So be mindful of the minimum header requirement of 1 3/4 inches. Now, the top rail of a standard top jamb installation is going to be 1 1/4 inches. However, if you're using the 18TJ, you've got to have at least 2 1/4 inches, which means the space into which you are installing the door closer arm to the face of the door must be 2 1/4 inches. You've got to have at least that dimension on the top rail. Again, incredibly common to see this aluminum storefront push side mount top jamb. Top jamb is great because lots of businesses that you likely walk into every single day, all those doors swing out. Well, you know, the most of the United States has winter, and you don't want a hydraulic cylinder installed in the exterior of the opening in any climate, much less a northern climate. So moving that closer into the interior climate-controlled side of the wall is why that's done. Door's got to swing out. You're not going to parallel arm mount it because you may not want to have that hardware hanging down over the glass in the door, for still talking aluminum storefront. So moving it all up as high as possible is what's done. That's where your 18 TJ is really going to come into play. The plate that we have here is in the aluminum finish. Obviously, you can get these plates in any sprayed or plated finishes that LCN produces their closers in. It's made of steel. It's rather heavy. I'm going to guess about 4 pounds. Overall length of the plate, 12 1/4. Overall height, 3 1/2. You don't need, obviously, 8 holes to mount your closer body. You are going to... the placement of those holes renders this and permits this to be non-handed and fully reversible. Okay, that's why you'll have all those holes. Then you're going to have the 6 holes to mount the plate directly to the header. You'll get fasteners for doing that. You'll get the self-drilling flathead sheet metal screws. Then you'll even get the 4 bolts that you need for the closer body onto the plate itself, okay? Because that would require a bolt that would not certainly come with the closer itself. Okay, that's it. Thickness of this item is not insignificant, and let's also get the weight for sure so that we know. This closer is closer to 2 1/4 pound, not 4. 2 1/4, about 2 1/4 with the screw pack. Thickness of the plate itself is 0.199 inch, 0.199, so basically 3/16, stamped. Okay. There's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the LCN products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. I'm quite partial to LCN and other properties by Allegion, in particular Von Duprin. I personally feel they're best in class. I personally find that when you are making an outrageously significant investment in door hardware, that having the technical support behind the product and the investment is crucial. The ability to get support that you need from LCN in this case. And it's true of other properties owned by Allegion. The ability to buy parts like a plate quickly, promptly, in stock, ready to ship, that kind of stuff is crucial. And I use the LCNs and the Von Duprins and the Schlags because of that service. Not only do I believe in the product, severely believe in the product, but with that tech support is heads and shoulders above, is what I usually find. If you have any questions on the LCN 4040 XP and an 18 TJ variant plate, please feel free to reach out to us. And before we conclude, I want to just touch on the other plates that you'll bump into. The other installation accessories that would go with this in terms of a plate would be a simple dash 18, which is when you are going to mount the closer on the pull side of the door, where your top rail is less than 3 3/4 inch. But requires a minimum of 2 inch. So if you're going to put it on a pull side mount, you want a dash 18. The 18G locates top jamb mounted closer flush with top of head for a flush sealing condition. So what that means is you could have suspended sealing come right to the top of your header on the frame. You can't go above the top of the header, so the 18G repositions basically the mounting holes so that you can still install a top jamb mount, but then that positions the door closer body, requiring you to have 1 3/4 inch minimum head frame dimension on that. Then the TJ we just covered, the 18PA, the fourth and last, is required for a parallel arm mount meaning body on the closer, you're on the, body on the door, and you're on the push side. Same as a top jamb, except now the body's not on the header, it's now on the door. Required for parallel arm mounting where top rail is less than 5.5 inch, measured from the stop. So important, the top rail of a door is the top of the door to the beginning of the light or the glass, or maybe where the molding is. What generally, the way I think of it, is what clear space you have within which to work. And in this case, they're specifically telling you you could have a 5.5 inch top rail, but what is it when the door is closed and you butt your tape measure to the bottom of the stop down? What is that clear opening? That clear opening, not including the space gobbled up by the door stop on the frame, must be 5.5. Requires 2-inch minimum top rail to do that 18PA. You see the 18PA all the time as well. Any questions on the 4040XP-18TJ or any other LCN product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.